And we are live. Welcome to another Super Galactic Saturday. I'm Jerry Sr. with Jerry Jr.
Good morning.
And it's another beautiful day in sunny California, and it's not so sunny today. It's pouring rain,
No.
and it is now cold and rainy. And I still went to the beach. I just sat in my car and looked at the ocean. Did get out, and I had some breakfast at my favorite restaurant, and came home, and it was still nice. Still a nice day. Any day above ground is a good day. So I'm thankful for today. And we're thankful that you're here to join us and share some of your time with us. We appreciate it. And we thank you for all your support. And yeah, we got a few things we're going to talk about. Welcome, Mecca Missionary. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're having a good day as well. And glad to see you here. Um, and we're going to take a look at the Super Mario Galaxy trailer because, A, we're fans. B,
Whoa.
it's the second one. You're a fan. You're a fan. And it's the second installment, of course. And I don't know, it seems like it's kind of dropped quick. I mean, it hasn't been that long, which is kind of nice. That they're not allowing too much time to pass between movies. We've seen the same pattern with Sonic. So yeah, it's kind of cool. But so yeah, let's take a look at the trailer, and then we'll give our 2 cents.
Here we go.
Hey, big guy!
Oh,
You wanted to see us?
don't move, I'll be right up. Sipping the soup, cleaning the paint, boodle-doo, boodle-doo, and also trim the bonsai bush. Here we go. Hey, Luigi! What's up, Mario? Behold! I made a masterpiece for Princess Peach. What do you think?
Love the colors!
It's trash.
How dare you look at my masterpiece and say that?
I'll burn the skin off your bones!
Wow. Sorry about that. That's the old Bowser talking. Still working through my demons, I suppose. Anyway, I need my 8 hours or else I really turn into a monster.
I'm Bowser Jr., and I'm gonna be taking my father now!
Princess Rosalina, you're coming with me.
That's impacted, right? It looks like it definitely continues from the first movie, right?
It was all right.
But at the same time, they're jumping to yeah, and that's a good point, Mecca Missionary. People said this Mario should have been called Super Mario Brothers 2, the movie, right? And that's the thing. Like, I was kind of surprised to see them jump to a whole other game, right? Game world. So versus just continuing the Super Mario World themes, and maybe goes back and you reveal more characters because there's a lot there, alone to unpack without going into Galaxy and Sunshine and all all the other, Paper Mario, all the other worlds or themes, right? Games, whatever you want to call them. So I don't know. That's kind of interesting. I was like, okay, I don't know. I hope they're not trying to kind of rush everything, or something. Like they're just trying to cover all the different games,
Well, I mean,
movies, and
let's be honest. There's no outside of like two games. There's no real continuity between uh the Mario games. Like
well, I'm thinking in terms of
Super.
theme versus continuity. Like I know there's no continuity, but I'm just talking about themes in the sense of each game has a theme. Each game is it's either water like sunshine, or it's space like galaxy, or you understand like
I see
uh,
what you mean.
you understand. That's all I mean. And in each of those particular games with those themes comes new characters and new adventure and new sort of missions for Mario. So that's kind of what I mean. Like it's like just Super Mario Brothers, and you can even encompass Mario 64 and all that into that. And like there's a lot to unpack. You could do several movies just those alone. That's kind of what
I
I
mean,
mean.
that's true.
You
Yeah.
know,
Well, here's the
so
thing.
that's kind
My
of what I'm trying to
theory.
say.
No, that's true. Well, here's the thing. My theory is that because Galaxy came out when the Galaxy came out. My guess is that they're making a new Super Mario Galaxy, and so to get everybody prepared for Super Mario Galaxy 3, they're making it a big emphasis on Galaxy in the movie. The Super Mario Galaxy came out in 2007, right? So
Right.
that was almost 10 years ago.
So they're
So,
dropping another. Is this a brand like a continuation? Is it a
well, no, this
like
is
a
basic.
rebuild
This
or?
is just a retelling of Super Mario Galaxy. But what I'm saying is that they're trying to get people hyped and in the mindset for Galaxy when the eventual Galaxy 3 comes out. That's my theory.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a continuation of.
Well, the movie's not a
Yeah,
continuation.
no,
It's
I know. You mean the game? That's what I'm asking.
Oh
They're not.
yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah,
not
yeah.
re-releasing the old game. They're releasing
Well,
a
yeah, they
new
did that already.
installment. Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying. So
because before this, they re-released Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 on the Switch 2 as like a package or whatever. So
okay.
uh, they're clearly, I mean, something is brewing.
Yeah, they're
That's all.
obviously. So that means they're trying to pair up.
Yeah, because when the first Super Mario Brothers came out, we got a new redesign for Donkey Kong, and that's pretty much what the Donkey Kong Bonanza uh, redesign is based off of the movie version. So
Right, I
you
get
know,
that, but that's why
I'm just saying
I
that
don't like.
usually,
That's why I don't like these executives.
what do
They're
you
the
mean?
ones that because they do that. Oh, we're gonna drop Galaxy 3. This movie should be Super Mario Galaxy. That way, it's you know brand reinforcement. It's kind of dumb because it really doesn't work that way. So that's why like I said,
Well, I mean,
the
Nintendo does it all the time. I mean,
this is their first foray into cinema,
well, I know. I'm
and
saying like they release content to correlate with
right
the game
content in
stuff like
relation to
that.
the game, not animated series or movies.
Oh yeah, I mean, they had the Kirby animated series came out for kids. That
Yeah, I remember
coincided
that.
with the release of because they came out with the Kirby animation. They were like, oh, well, we have this Kirby cartoon. We don't have any new Kirby games, so that's why they remade
Yeah, and that doesn't
Kirby's
work.
Adventure.
That doesn't make sense. That's the point
What
I'm
do you
making.
mean?
A, a Kirby cartoon doesn't make you go, let me go play the game, or vice versa.
But that's the
It doesn't.
point, though. The cartoon's supposed to sell the game.
I know that. I'm saying it doesn't work. Is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Why would it not work?
Okay, does it work for you as a gamer if they made an animated series? I was just talking to your brother about it this morning. And he said the exact opposite. That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, I bought Kirby's what's it called? It was Kirby's Amazing Mirror, and it
Because
had
of the
an
cartoon series.
well, I mean,
In other words, if the series didn't exist, would you have bought the game?
I don't know. I was a kid.
Okay, so you think kids are gonna watch this and want to play Galaxy?
I mean, I don't see why not.
I
That's
honestly,
that's kind of the point. I mean, it's the same way with like anime and manga, right? The anime is supposed to sell the manga.
I guess I, I don't know if we've ever seen a real correlation. That's why I'm wondering. It's like I don't know. I understand it because I know in the '80s that was a big thing for toys, right? You make an animated series to sell toys, or vice versa. You make the toy and you say, "Oh, we need a cartoon to sell."
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't see why it didn't work. Also, I mean, yeah, to be fair, yeah, Kirby Amazing Mirror wasn't referenced in the show, but Air Rider was. Kirby's Air Rider was referenced in the show. But
Yeah, thanks, Michael.
I just know that that uh, that was the main reason why the main motivation for them making new Kirby games because they were releasing this cartoon, but they didn't have any
Yeah, I get
new
that.
Kirby games.
I just don't know if I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of interesting, and I'm speaking from a different vantage point. I know because I'm older. So, but yeah, like watching cartoons. I don't know. Did it make me want the toys?
I mean
No,
that's the
I
point.
don't. No, like they didn't. I don't know. That, you understand? Like that's what I'm saying. Like
Well, then why did you
I
buy the toys then?
well, I didn't buy the toys. My parents bought. I didn't. But
Right, but you
the
wanted the
toys.
toys because it
No, the
was
toys that I wanted were toys that I thought were cool.
right. But why did you think the toys were cool though?
Yeah, like Transformers is a good example. Yeah, Transformers was like, yeah, I want that. But
Well, oh no,
I
I mean,
would have
I mean,
wanted it without the cartoon. That's kind of what the point I'm making. If I
I
saw it
mean,
on a
how do you?
shelf in a toy store, I would go, I want that. That's all I'm saying. Like GoBots, right? I had GoBots before I knew there was a series because they dropped prior to the series. Right? You understand? Because it was just a commercial with a guy showing you a GoBot and transforming it. That was it. That's all I needed. That's kind of the point I'm making. It's like there's a this strong belief, and I guess this it is true because you saw it with Star Wars. Like, the movie led to merchandise, and merchandise went off the chain. And that's kind of what's kicked it off. To be honest, is Star
Yeah,
Wars. So, but I don't know. I kind of wonder. I'm just saying. I don't think that's a one-to-one thing. I think it has a lot. There's a lot more nuance to it. So that's all. Especially with gaming. I don't know. Gaming. And that, like I said, that's what I was discussing with your brother. Like it's a different beast, right? Like if you're a gamer, do you care if there's a series attached to your game? And if you see a
well, I mean,
series, does that automatically, even if the series is good, does that make you go, "Oh, I wish there was a game"? It's like I don't think so, not
not really.
necessarily.
I
Yeah,
mean, I
that's
guess it
that's all
depends on
I'm talking
how.
about. And not to mention this movie would exist regardless of Galaxy, meaning they would do a sequel because the movie itself was a success, right? Box office wise, and I'm sure it sold a lot of merch just because of the movie. That's why I find it odd to say, well, let's correlate it with the release of Galaxy 3. It's like, well, why? Like, just drop another Mario movie. Like they don't have to necessarily be intertwined in a marketing sense, right? It's like it's still brand reinforcement. Does that make sense? Like that's all I'm saying. Like it's just kind of seems odd to me. Like, oh, we're gonna drop this game, so let's go ahead and make the movie themed after this game. When there's so much more to do with the first just from the first movie alone. So
I guess, yeah.
that's all. That's all. I guess in my own clumsy way of trying to explain. Right? So yeah, it, that's all. It's like, especially in retrospect, I look back and I'm like, yeah. I mean, like Robotech. I love Robotech, the series, but it didn't make me want to buy a Veritech. What made me want to buy a Veritech was seeing it on the shelf and going, "Oh, it's a plane that transforms." Right? Because I saw the Veritex before Robotech dropped, because it was not a unique toy in that sense, because it was already imported to the West. And it was being sold. I forgot what it was called. Because there was several versions, Robotech, and then there was the Transformer, which I can't remember his name, Skyfire or something.
So,
But he looked like a
the who?
Veritech fighter. The Transformer.
Oh,
He looked like a Veritech fighter. He transformed exactly like but he was not Robotech. He was a Transformer. He was actually the only Transformer that could fly. That was a plane, I should say, right at the time, Gen 1 or whatever. So,
well, I'm pretty
but
sure the Transformers designers were the same ones as the Macross ones, so that
yeah,
makes
it's
sense.
exactly the same design. That's my point. And what I'm saying
Well, I'm
is
saying
that
the same designers, the like same people who
no,
designed it.
no doubt, right, exactly. But what I'm saying is, but the toys were already being sold as something else. So they weren't even Transformers or Robotech. It was just whatever the Japanese, you understand? Like
Yeah.
I had no idea about a cartoon. I just saw, oh, it's a jet that turns into a robot. So that was it. Yeah,
Uh
so
huh.
that's the point I'm making in retrospect. I'm like, yeah, like sure it may have reinforced, I suppose, but the reality is, it's just seeing the toy and that it was so different, so unique. It's just like Meziger Z, right? I had never seen the cartoon, but I would see them in the store, right? Those the robots, they were on wheels, and some were like about a foot or foot and a half tall, and another one was like 2 feet tall, three. And it's like, oh, that's awesome. It's a robot. That's it. That's all I needed. That's kind of the point I'm making. Like, there's an assumption, it's a correlation, of course, like I said, because of Star Wars, right? That we got to have a property, an IP that's a movie or a show to sell the toys, right? So if you have a toy idea, you got to make a cartoon, and it's like, but the reality is, what sold the toys was the toys themselves. Like they were quality toys, they were good, they were different, unique, and fascinating. You know, the cartoon was just the icing on the cake, so to speak.
Yeah.
So, and that's why it's kind of funny that that's still a line of reason among marketers. It's okay, we're dropping a movie, it has to exactly correlate with this other thing. You know what I mean? Like, and it
Yeah.
really does. That's what I'm saying. It does, right? The fact that they're just dropping a movie is enough. Right? This movie can be about any Mario adventure, and they can still drop Galaxy, and it will do exactly the same numbers. Like, it's it's not gonna one's not gonna make the other more valuable, because it's still overall it's the same brand. It's Nintendo. It's Mario. So that's why it's kind of a weird logic to me. I don't know. So that's all. I'm an old coot, so I'm just looking back. I don't make
Well, I
sense.
mean, I get what you're saying. I
And then it's
just
kind of so that makes it kind of disappointing. I was hoping to see more just Mario stuff. Like I said, Mario 64 worlds and things like that. You know, that's kind of what I'm getting at. That would have been nice to just continue that, and then jump into Galaxy later or something, and even the other themes. But whatever. I mean, as long as we get more movies and they're good, it's kind of.
yeah. There's also a Donkey Kong movie in the works, apparently.
I heard, yeah, but I don't think they've dropped any teasers, right?
No, no, they didn't.
And listen, Jack Black. I mean, am I the only one that thinks he's kind of a perfect Bowser?
No, that's the general consensus there.
Yeah, I
Everybody likes.
Jack
Everybody
Black is
likes.
Bowser. Bowser is Jack Black. It's kind of
Yeah.
like, yeah, that was a great casting. So not disappointed
Yeah, I
with
think
that.
he's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of anyone else that could have pulled it as well as he.
No, yeah, me neither.
But yeah, this is cool. I
So it
mean, it looks
works. It's
visually it looks
funny,
beautiful. So,
and it's pretty consistent to his personality in the game. So
yeah. Now
Bowser
apparently,
Bowser Jr. I don't know how to feel about Bowser Jr. Uh,
well,
that
yeah,
can't be his real voice.
well, not only
That,
that, but
that,
didn't I saw someone comment that doesn't Bowser have other kids,
oh my
right?
god!
Or is that like something we don't talk about, like the Mario
It's
first Mario movie?
we
Like
don't we
we
don't
pretend
talk
it
about
doesn't
it. That,
exist. Okay, okay. So
like
because he was
they
included in the game though, right?
who?
Bowser Jr. Like he was
Well,
wasn't
yeah,
he
he was debuted in Sunshine,
yeah,
but he pretty
Sunshine.
much
Okay,
replaced the Koopa kids after.
that's okay.
Sunshine.
That's what I'm trying to remember. Okay, got it. So yeah, so there
Like
was
they
like
still appear, but uh, they were originally his kids in like the older games, but then Shigeru Miyamoto changed his mind, and so we don't know.
like I don't think so.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know why he changed his mind. I don't know
Now
what difference would it make.
now admittedly I'm not familiar with this character.
She's
Uh,
from Galaxy. She's
Galaxy. Okay.
actually the best. She's actually the best new Mario character uh, in like the last decade. So she's actually pretty cool.
Okay.
She's also
Well,
the only. She's also the only Mario character with a proper like backstory, and um, yeah, it's great. As a matter of fact, when Galaxy came out, there's a storybook that you could read in the game, and they actually it's basically Rosalina's backstory, and they actually made a real. I think they made a real book out of it, like a real storybook for kids.
yeah.
So you could actually buy it for your kids and stuff like that. It's actually really cool.
Interesting. Okay. But I heard she's being voiced by Brie Larson, the Captain
Who?
Marvel, Brie
Oh
Larson.
yeah, that's right.
And I don't know, there was some weird controversy apparently with Grace Randolph. It was kind of dumb.
I mean, who cares?
Yeah, I mean, because I know there, I saw some of the comments or whatever, and I was kind of like, okay, I mean, honestly, hey, she's been pretty quiet lately. She, she has been saying anything controversial, and she is a decent actress. Um, so I thought, okay, I mean, that's fine. Like I don't care if she's voice acting a character. So.
Yeah,
But it's like for some reason Grace Randolph brought it up. I guess her reputation because she wasn't well liked for some time because of comments made when Captain Marvel dropped and Captain Marvel itself just isn't a great movie. Um, and she took a lot of heat. But I'm like, it's been enough time, and to the point where I think a lot of folks really don't care, you know. Um,
yeah. It's
and
really not
honestly,
that important.
we would know if we didn't, if it wasn't, she was listed in credit. But
Yeah, I'm pretty
I
sure
think
that was.
what?
I feel like I don't know. It's not really relevant to bring up anymore. Like people are over it.
Yeah, I agree. And like I said, she has. It's different if she's been, and I mean Brie Larson, if she's been very vocal and saying kind of wild and crazy things or offensive things, or then it's like, yeah, we don't want this person. But she hasn't. She's been like, you know, like kill that noise. You know what I'm saying? Like she has been doing it, and I think because she's kind of got a clue like, yeah, this is probably not a good way to market movies. It's giving my political opinion all the time. But I think Grace Randolph was trying to kind of stir the pot. Why? I don't know. It's kind of weird that she would even. Yeah, I mean, she's kind of out of touch in relation. I mean, I'm already out of touch. I'm less out of touch than she is when it comes to Mario. I think she should just not comment about Super Mario movies
Yeah.
anymore.
Who is this person? Grace Randall?
Randolph. Yeah, she's a movie critic. She does movie reviews and all that stuff. I used to follow
Oh,
her
okay.
channel pretty regularly
Grace Randolph. Okay.
early on because she seemed pretty based. Like, she had decent takes on things, but then she started kind of going off the rails with like injecting her own kind
Oh
of
yeah, I remember her.
politics and
She's the one who said Shadow the Hedgehog was a child predator.
yeah, it wasn't kid friendly, right? It's like, what are
That
you
was
talking about?
nuts.
Yeah, it was wild. Like that's what I'm
That
saying.
was
Like that was
crazy.
that was with the Sonic movies, yeah. And then she it's like she clearly doesn't understand the IP, and so she's commenting on something that's like this is not your wheelhouse.
What an
Like
insane take.
yeah, then she's talking about the portrayal of Mrs. Rosalina, right? In Peach, Princess Peach, and how she thought the first movie was about this love triangle between Bowser and Mario over Peach. Like that's what she thought. The movie, not the game, not the original game. Like, the original game, you can kind of make that argument, I suppose, because he's rescuing the princess.
I
But
mean, yeah.
in the movie, that's not at all what's happening. Like he literally never rescues Peach, right? Peach rescues herself. I think she even rescued him, didn't she? Like she
I mean,
rescued
I don't know.
Mario, then Mario rescued Luigi. Right? So, yeah, I mean, you understand?
Oh,
Like, in other words, it's clear like she didn't understand the movie at all, right? Like for whatever reason, she saw what she wanted to see, so she thought, oh, this is sexist kind of whatever, misogynistic. It's like, no, it's a Mario movie, right? It has
yeah.
nothing to do with anything you're talking about. Like
Yeah,
whatever thoughts are passing through your head,
that's
that's not what it's about. So just completely kind of out of touch, like not really reading the room or paying attention to the actual IP. Where it's like at least talk to a gamer or invite a gamer
I mean, I
to
highly
come
doubt she
on.
cares enough to talk about it.
Well,
So
but that's the problem, though, right? If you don't care enough to do a little research to just understand, then why are you even talking about it? Just ignore it. You know what I mean? Like just, oh, that's not my forte, so I'll focus on Brad Pitt movies, right? Like that's it. Like so. So here she is again, kind of sticking her foot in it. So
yeah.
okay,
Well, let us know what you guys think about the Mario movie. Uh, is it going to be sexist? Let us know what you think in the
will
comments
it be
below.
sexist?
Yeah,
Will Mario be misogynistic?
it's not very likely.
I mean,
Uh,
it's pretty simple, and that's the thing. That's kind of the beauty of this movie, and hopefully the second movie, and even the Sonic movies, is that they're able to tell good stories and portray these characters as characters and not get into the weeds of the talking points and dogma, feminist logic. You
yeah,
understand that woke, whatever, whatever the popular talking points are. They steer clear of it, right? Like Peach isn't just a girl boss babe nonsense, right? She's Peach. She's as she's portrayed in the games. It's
yeah,
it's like, and that's fine. Like everyone's like the fan base is already there for it. There's no virtue signal going on. It's just like, hey, this is just a fun movie, and it's established lore and the characters. We already know who the characters are, what we expect from them. You know, that's it.
yeah.
So if you're on either side, if you're reading more into it than what's there, you're the problem, not the movie. That's kind of, and I think that's kind of what happened with the Grace
Yeah.
Randolph.
Oh,
She's
Mega
choosing to
Missionary
read so
brings
much
up
into it.
a good question: whether Illumination is going to be essentially Nintendo's go-to studio for
Yeah,
movies,
the answer is
which
right now, yes. I believe that is the plan.
maybe, but
Yeah.
the thing is, they're also working on a Zelda movie, and I can't see Illumination doing something as serious as Legend of Zelda. So, also, to be
Well,
fair, I think the
is
Legend of
Legend of
Zelda movie is going to
Zelda,
be
that's live
live
action, isn't it?
action.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that's not Illumination, is it?
no, I doubt
Yeah,
it.
that's what I'm
No.
saying. So they're handling what it looks like is they're handling animation. They're sticking to their wheelhouse, which is animated features, which they have a proven track record of success. You know, I mean, face it,
Yeah, it's true.
they've become sort of the new Pixar. Like they're they're firing
It's
all
kind of crazy to think
cylinders.
about.
Yeah, it is, but it's true. Pixar is kind of falling off in the last few years. They've had a few, like Coco was a great movie. So they've
Hmm.
had some great movies. Even
Wait, did you
Inside
say
Out.
Coco? Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
Pixar. Yeah,
yeah. Inside
yeah,
Out.
it's a good
That
movie.
was a
Yeah,
great one. Great movie. I didn't see the second one, but I heard that did very well also. The sequel to Inside Out. So
yeah,
you know, it's like, but the problem is, it's always surrounded by thanks in large part to Disney, by accusations of, oh, you guys are being woke, because Coco suffered that, right? Because it's a Mexican themed movie. Happens in Mexico. It's Mexican lore,
yeah. But people still
and
went to see the movie, right?
no, they did, and I believe it did very well. I loved it.
Yeah.
Like I watched it, I'm like, this is. I mean, if you didn't cry in that last scene when Coco started singing, you have no heart. You have a heart of stone. You're just you're just not human. Like that was a beautiful movie. Like or when the first guy, I forgot his name, but when he faded away, I was like,
Oh
yo, this is
yeah, that
crazy,
was
right?
nuts.
Yeah, like yo, this is like this
That
is
was
heavy.
actually horrifying.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful movie. In fact, now that I'm bringing it up, I'm gonna watch it again today. But
Yeah.
it's like they still had some hits, but they've had misses too, like The Good Dinosaur, a few others. But Cars 3, I think, just flopped. Yeah. So then they had this big shakeup with John Lasseter, of course.
With what?
John Lasseter, he got Me Too,
Oh,
leaving.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's, and it was a lot of BS. It was nonsense. But unfortunately, now I believe he's at Legendary, I think. Or no, and he's working with like Apple and stuff. So, I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah.
So, so
Speaking
that's,
of Pixar, we've coming out with somehow Toy Story returns.
yeah. Um, let's take a look before you start talking.
I really don't want to. Dad, this is the wrong trailer.
It is?
This is the wrong trailer. I got it. That's an AI trailer.
This is?
Yeah.
Okay. I
Did you
haven't
not
watched it.
realize that?
Well, no, I just saw the title, Toy Story 5.
Oh, okay. No, I have the right trailer.
Okay, my bad.
Because I saw that earlier.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Oh,
And to be
gosh.
fair,
All
I
right.
haven't watched it. I just saw the title. So I don't
Oh,
know
really?
anything
You
else
haven't
about it.
watched it? Okay.
No,
That's
I
all
haven't watched
right.
it. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
That was close.
I was like, wait a minute. Something ain't right. All right, here we go. This
I
is
know, I know
the
you're right.
real.
Mecha Missionary, where you could double the speed. We would have to watch the whole thing. It shows. Enough of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, will they? Well, no, it's Disney.
They
I'm not.
probably will. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a good reminder to make a Missionary. Thank you.
Well, I'll put it at.
You know
I
what we got
hate
to
doing
do?
this.
We have to create a watermark
Maybe
for
that'll work. All
future
right, let's
future
watch it.
trailers.
Bonnie, there's a package for you.
I was standing, you were there, two worlds colliding, and they could never tear us apart.
Oh, thank you. Hi there, I'm Lily Pad. Let's play.
Okay, stop right there.
So
I mean, that's really
here's
all
here's the first
that
problem.
is.
What are you doing here? What are you?
Yeah, why is Woody still here?
You
Unless
abandoned us.
it's not the same Woody. What if it's another Woody toy?
That's ridiculous.
Why? That
That
would be beyond the pale.
they're not
There's like
making new
there was
Woody
literally
toys.
shelves full of Buzz, like hundreds of Buzz. Like
Yeah, because Buzz Lightyear is a
so,
was is
so
a,
why wouldn't there be another Woody if someone else happened to take care of their Woody, and they thought Woody was the last Woody, and you find out, oh no, there's
okay. First
another
off, they're
Woody
not going to do
somewhere
that
else.
for story reasons because that's tacky. Secondly,
Wait. I'm gonna
in
stop
the
you right
no,
there
hold on a
because
second.
Toy Story 5. We're at 5, and you're talking about there being another Woody is tacky.
This whole thing is taxi. But listen to what I'm saying. Two, Woody is
I
a
mean, we're
super
beyond
old
tacky.
toy that lost relevancy
It
after
doesn't.
Sputnik. They're
It
not
doesn't.
making new Woody. They're
I didn't
not
say
making new
that.
Woody dolls.
See, you didn't hear what I said. I didn't say they made.
I
I
heard what
said
you said.
someone else could have taken care of their Woody just like Andy did.
No, I
That's all I'm
heard that
saying.
part.
There could be
That's
there could
not gonna.
be
They're not
other
gonna do that.
Woodies. Why not? There's Toy Story 5. They made a spoon for crying out loud. A spoon into a talking toy.
All right,
Why
first
couldn't
off,
they?
it's
That's having another Woody is far more logical and plausible than a talking spork. That's just dumb. And still, they made it work in 4. But you're trying to convince me that there being a second Woody is like, oh, that's just beyond the pale. Come on. in Toy Story
Dad,
5,
you and I both know there's only one Woody.
what we do, and how do we know this? Come on, man. That's ridiculous. That would be far
The
more
whole
logical.
thing is ridiculous.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. But my suggestion is not absurd. It is actually like that's based. Like there could be another Woody. But to say, oh, somehow he changed his mind and he came back because reasons, I'm guessing something happened to Bo Peep. That's my guess. Maybe she gets dropped because she's porcelain.
That's horrible. Why did you say
What else
that?
would it be? Either that or she just left him.
So I remember reading somewhere that
Make a decision.
I,
Said Woody's out of stock.
yeah somebody, I mean, yeah, he would have to be, but
But a
I,
collector would have him. See,
collector's
just like
not.
in was it Toy Story 2 or 3?
Yeah,
It
it
was
was
2.
two.
Yeah, it was a
I
collector.
it
He
was
had the
two.
horse and he had the right. So I'm
Yeah,
like, so why
collector is
wouldn't
not.
another collector? Why wouldn't another collector have? That's what
You
I'm
know they're
saying.
not gonna do that, Dad. But
Well, they probably won't. I'm just saying that's still plausible. I'm just making an argument for my argument. Doggone it.
I just it's just awful.
Excuse me.
Just I'm not gonna watch this movie. I'm not gonna watch this movie. I'm getting upset, but it's literally it's like you took something that had a perfect run. You had Toy Story 1, you had Toy Story 2, you had Toy Story 3, and then you you walked a fine line and
With
made Toy
4,
Story
yeah,
4,
yeah,
which was
yeah,
decent.
yeah.
It was
Right. We forgave that because it's like, well, it's a decent story.
yeah,
It's
it's
actually
not better
watchable.
than 3 or 2,
No, it's not, but
but
it's
it
not
doesn't need to
terrible.
exist.
It wasn't a huge decline from the
No,
previous. Yeah,
but
I agree.
this is pushing it, especially when you look at the marketing. Like if you remember the marketing, yeah. Also, it's like either they're retconning the. My guess is that they're retconning Toy Story 4 because for money.
Oh yeah,
God,
of
where's
course.
that clip? Hold on a second. This is why I love SpongeBob because there's a SpongeBob clip for anything. But um, it's like because if they do this, that makes the whole thing that happened in 4 meaningless. Yeah,
Well, it all
this is
depends
essentially
on
what they're doing.
how they explain it.
This is exactly what they're doing.
Am I really gonna defile this grave for money? Of course I am!
Of course I am.
Jackpot!
That's it. That's what's happening.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It is a money grab for sure. Why? I don't know. Like, it's like one thing to say money grab. It's another to go this far with a fifth installment in a franchise that was done 2 installments ago. Like it doesn't really make, especially on a movie, on the scale of a movie versus why not spin off a series, right? Like a streaming series, or, so that you can flesh out the world, you can add new characters as you see fit. You can
Yeah, that would
flesh
make
out the
more
story
sense.
behind other characters, like the potato heads or something. It's like there's a lot you can mine here, but doing it as full length feature movies, it's like that's not really, to me, that's not really mining the IP properly. It's like you're kind of beating a dead horse, even if the story is good. Like if we go see this, right, or have to watch it, and it's objectively good, like we can, just like four, right? We watched it and we really didn't have any much to say against it, right? We're kind of like, well, yeah, I mean, it hit all the right beats. It was somewhat satisfying at the end. Woody was kind of saying goodbye. He was, we saw it as they portrayed it as if he's growing up, right? He's going out into the world. All those things were like, okay, I can't really argue against that. Let's say it's objectively bad. It's not. It's objectively good. It's acceptable. Is it better? Like, did they reach some type of zenith in this franchise where they hit this peak and we're like, whoa, no, they didn't. The peak was three. The peak was when you had all the toys and a junkyard on their way to an incinerator, and they all accepted it. Right? They all
Yeah,
grabbed hands,
that was
and they're just
crazy.
like, "This is it, guys. We're done." So it's been a pleasure, right? And we're sitting there like, "Yo, something's, some human's gonna come and find something's gonna happen." And of all things that happen, the aliens, right? They find the
Yeah,
claw and
the
rescue.
claw.
That was
Yeah,
beautiful. That was like a
everything
beautiful
came
moment.
full circle.
Yeah, that
Everything
was
came full circle.
loved it. I loved it. And very satisfying and everything. Ended on a high note, right? Because they found a new kid that loved them just like Andy. We were good, right? Like incredibly satisfying. Andy grows up, goes off to college. Then they go, oh, but we got one more. Why?
And keep in mind, look at the marketing. Look at the marketing they did for the movie. Look at this. Look at how sentimental and like. Look at the aura. It makes it.
I
This
know.
is.
I agree. It's
This
classic.
tells
Yeah.
me, yeah. Well. My thing is that this is
It's
for
the
Toy
whole,
Story 4.
yeah, but it's a sepia tone. It tells you goodbye. That's kind of where it
Right.
goes. Like he's
That
tipping his
was the
hat,
whole.
like he's about to ride off into the sunset. He's about to,
Like they made a whole
leave
big
us.
deal
Yeah,
about it.
I
Like,
know.
yeah, we're saying goodbye.
Yeah.
And then they like psych.
Then they say,
Oh,
on second thought, right? It's
oh,
like Seinfeld when Elaine had the boyfriend from Europe and he just wouldn't leave. He kept missing his flight. It's
oh my
like, go
goodness.
home, right? And I'm
Yeah.
kind of saying that right now. It's like, yo, stop with the sequels, man. It's done. Even if it's good, right? Even if you can look at it and go, yes, this was good. It was funny. It was entertaining. But guess what? I still don't want it. Right? That's the thing. It's like we still don't want it. I don't even think kids want this. Like honestly, I really
No.
don't. I don't think kids really care. Like I said, they would probably get way more mileage and sell way more merch if they did a series and
Yeah.
reintroduced everyone so that a younger audience can get into it and love it and buy the merch, right? Want the toys or whatever. It's like we talked about earlier, right? But here this is for us. This is for
And
you
let's be real,
and your
kids aren't
brother.
talking
Yeah.
about Toy Story. They're talking about Attack on Titan and stuff like that. It's true.
Yeah,
Like
you're right. You're
that's
right,
just the
Mechanism
facts.
Man. It's right now, anime and manga is dominating, and video games, of course, but especially when it comes to sort of pop culture It's anime and manga is number one
Yeah.
with a bullet, right? It's like hands down, and we're not just talking about eking out a number one spot over some Western picks. No, it's a country mile between modern Marvel, DC, Image comics, right? And modern television shows, streaming shows, and anime and manga. It's not even close, you know, because what's happening like the world of animation, in particular, it's the industry. It's basically collapsing, right? Because just a lot of internal issues, mismanagement of funds, unions, things like that. Like, but then the dearth of innovation and imagination. The fact that they hammered on about what was politically, popular, at least what they thought was among their contemporaries, but in the general public, no one cared. So the virtue signaling they kept injecting into different things fell on deaf ears. A lot of people just turned away and didn't care, and that did not help anybody. Right? So it's we kind of shot ourselves in the foot with that stuff, and all the while Japan and France and Korea and even China, right? They were just cranking out their anime and their manga and mangaka, right? And telling
Yeah.
good stories, and many of it's telling our stories better. And when I say our stories, I mean like the Western stories, like stories about Vinland Saga is probably a great example of that, right? Just
Oh yeah.
European history being told in such a compelling and beautiful way, right? With a very nuanced and subtle commentary against war and violence, right? Like, oh my
Yeah.
God, right? And all in this 2-season anime, right? And it's like, where's the equivalent of that coming from Disney or Sony or DreamWorks? It doesn't exist. That's why
Nope.
there's this huge cavern. Now you can look at DreamWorks. I always give DreamWorks props. I think we talked about this before. Like they've done some bangers, man. Kung Fu Panda and How to Train Your Dragon, right? Shrek and all that.
Yeah.
But it's like, but then they milk it in such a way, like Toy Story 4 and 5. We got Kung Fu Panda 4. Why? No one asked for it. No one wanted it, and it was garbage.
And it was bad. Yeah.
It's like, why are you destroying your own franchise? You did, I think, 2 separate series, right? Streaming series, right? Or at least it was like
Well, I
on
think they did
Nickelodeon or
one.
something.
Yeah, it was on Nickelodeon.
Oh, it
Yeah,
was one.
Legends of
Okay, I thought it was
Awesomeness.
2.
Yeah.
I thought they did 2, but it was only 1. Okay.
Yeah.
But you understand what I'm saying? It's like, and that was really good. I mean, I give them props. But then you say, hey, let's do a 4th. Like, why? Why? Like, stop it. It didn't do a 4th, but it's like, to their credit, at least when the Pixar did a 4th, it was actually good. You could actually say, oh, it's a good movie. We didn't need it. We didn't ask for it, but it was still good. But we can't say that about Kung Fu Panda, right? It's like, I don't, in my mind, that 4th movie doesn't exist. That's how bad it is. Like, it's 1, 2, and 3. It was, and I said for the longest time that was like one of the most perfect trilogies. And now
It really was. Yeah.
they just ruined it. It's like, okay, it was perfect. Now it isn't because they just didn't know when to stop. So, and that's what I'm saying. When you look at the West, and sure, you could point to certain things and coming out of Japan and others where maybe they're milking a particular IP, but I think that's few and far between relative to the West. I just
Well,
don't see it happening that much.
I don't know
All
if
I
it's
say
few and
is,
far between because we don't know really don't know
well, yeah,
everything
we
that they're
can't see
putting
it from
out.
right. That's a good point, and especially from the vantage point of their core audience, which is Japanese
Because
people.
let's face it, One Piece they're
Yeah,
milking the crap out of One Piece, but One
well,
Piece is still good.
see, that's the question, right? Would the typical One Piece fan, whether they're Japanese or American or other, would they consider it being something that's been milked, or would they see it as this is just a grand story and it's just full of awesomeness?
Well, I'm not
You
talking
understand?
about
Like,
the story specifically. I'm talking about like,
no, but I mean, but that's what matters to us. That's what I'm saying. What we're saying is the perception of the audience, right? Like they can do Toy Story 10 if they're constantly escalating the story into something deeper, wider, more meaningful. But they're not. They really aren't. They really are just milking it, right? And the same with Kung Fu Panda. Like that's a perfect example because it flopped because they are just they. You know, it's like the milking of that was so obvious, right? It was like money grab. Let's do it forward. But when you look at One Piece, like, is that even a money grab when the animation got progressively better and better along with the story? And now they're reanimating it and giving us even better animation. Like, how you follow what I'm saying? They're improving
yeah,
upon the IP with each iteration of the IP, right? It's not this stagnant, you know. So, and like I said, I'm not saying it isn't milking. I'm saying I think I'm questioning from a, like as a fan, and I am a fan of One Piece, right? Um,
yeah.
I don't. It's never occurred to me that Oda is milking this franchise. Does that make sense? Like to me, it's
Well, I don't
like,
know if it's Oda doing it, but when I say I'm
well,
not talking about
he's
within
a
this.
well, he's everything comes from his writing. So, and I think he does
Wait,
still have some creative control. So I'm just saying, is it milking or is it him saying, okay, where is this taking me? Where is the story taking me now? And at some point, because I think he's even said it is going to end at some point.
yeah,
You know, I think the question is how he's going to end it. You know, that's probably just a creative challenge, right?
right,
How will I end? How would I wrap up everything so that it's satisfying? You know, all that good stuff. And so that's kind of what I mean. There's a level of authenticity that's going into One Piece that I think fans we pick up on. It resonates, right? As compared to something like a Toy Story 4 or 5 or a Kung Fu Panda 4, we don't really get that sense of authenticity. You know,
yeah,
it's not
yeah,
even tied to a specific creator, right? It's like a different director, right? You know, crew, you know, because it's the Hollywood machine versus the perception. And I'm speaking for myself. You know, correct me if I'm way off, but with when it comes to anime, while a lot of it is funded through state funding and things like that, there's incentives. You know, big companies like Toei and all that. There's still a level of authenticity that we perceive because the stories tend to be tied directly to a manga, which is directly tied to the author. Does that make sense?
yeah.
And so because
That
we
makes
know the
sense.
author and we've seen that, and a lot of times these mangas they start off with just one guy learning how to draw so he can write a story. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's kind of, or a guy who can draw and he has a story so he starts writing, right? Like either way, it's like many of these guys are self-taught and they kind of started in the weeds and worked their way up to the level of readership that's led to getting turned into an anime, the popularity, etc. So it's like very somewhat organic, right? It doesn't feel contrived, if that
Right.
makes sense, you know. And I think that's part of the reason why it does do well relative to Western IPs that do feel contrived, right? Especially in recent years where a lot of it is it's clearly forced, right? Because they have forced messaging and embedded into the stories, right? So I mean, we saw that with we mentioned this before with Adventure Time, and uh, not Adventure Time, Steven Universe,
That's what
you
Stephen
know,
King saw.
I mean, even Adventure Time, eventually sort of became that. So, and that's sort of the tragedy of it. It loses that sense of authenticity, you know, that I think that just naturally kind of resonates with people. But
Hmm.
you know, but yeah, it's like the why. Um, Easy answer is money grab, but clearly they're making a commentary about technology versus traditional, traditionalism, I guess, like physically playing with toys versus now we have this computer toy, gives us answers and all this kind of stuff. And that kind of resonates. I mean, it resonates with me because that was something, me and your mother used to go back and forth about sometimes because she loved buying you like the leapfrog stuff. And I was like,
Oh
oh, we
yeah.
don't need that. Just get some puzzles. Let's play some checkers. So, oh, this is great because then you can sit in the car when we're driving around and So it was a balance. It was a challenge, because
Yeah,
I
that makes
was I
sense.
was among the old school, like, just let them play with a toy action figure. Fuck,
Give them a box.
yeah, give them a box.
Oh
And it's funny. That
no,
reminds me
I
of
get
a
it.
funny story. Your mom bought. I think it was your brother bought him this fancy, like, I don't know what it was. It's some kind of electronics. I think it was like a Simon Says thing, but it wasn't the traditional. It was the bopper thing. I don't know. I forgot what it was.
Oh, was it that colorful rainbow Simon Says machine where it's like you got to hit the colors? It was
No,
like a
but
circle.
no, it was. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't that. That's the old school one. It was something, but it was a derivative of that. It was
Oh,
something else.
okay.
But in any case, he never played with it, and he always played with this little eraser that was shaped like a character. I forget what character it was. I think it was
It was.
like Ultimate Muscle or something, like one of those characters. And he carried it
Oh,
around with him all the time, and he always played with it. And she's like, "Why are you playing? Why don't you play with this?" He's like,
yeah,
"No,
that
it's
makes
okay."
sense.
And he's just sitting there just playing.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
And she said, "Well, why are you playing with that?" He was like, "Well, Dad gave it to me because I did. I gave it. It was on a pencil, like over here, And he just played with it. He wouldn't stop playing with it. And it made her so mad. And she told me this. She was like, I paid, I forgot, I don't know, $30 or whatever. I paid all this money for this toy. He never plays. He only plays this like little eraser, little 50 cent eraser. Because you gave it. I
Yeah.
was like, I don't know. I said that's just kids. They like what they like, and that was my mindset. I was like, yeah, kids. You gotta play with what you want to play with. Right?
Yeah.
It's you can have all the doodads you want. At the end of the day, a kid's gonna play with what resonates with whatever with their imagination. You know. So I think that's part of the commentary with Toy Story 4 or 5. I should be sorry. Is maybe has something to do with that, like imagination versus technology, sort of kind of just giving you what to think versus you creating your own world, right? Maybe,
Right.
but that's that. But see, even that resonates more with my generation, my age group. Maybe even yours, because you know what I mean, like versus a younger, audience. Like they, I don't know, are they going to care? Is it even going to be something that especially
Are
now?
they gonna care about what? Toy Story?
No, the theme of technology versus traditional play,
Oh, I see. Well,
because
I
that's
mean,
that's that's what the
kids.
trailer is insinuating is, oh
Yeah.
no, there's a new toy, but it's this digital toy. It's a computer basically, versus old fashioned cowboy. And even Buzz Lightyear, because even though he's futuristic, he's still a toy. He's a physical toy that you have to play with, right? He's
Yeah.
not a robot that moves on his own. That's kind of the point. It's like, because that's what that was in the first Toy Story, was the traditional toy, the pull string, versus now these toys have gadgets and gizmos and lights, just like Buzz
Right.
Lightyear, right? That was kind of the point, is all these new toys, not like it used to be, right? Just like Tonka used to be die cast metal, you know, and now everything's plastic, that kind of
Yeah.
thing. So
That's true.
it'll be
Yeah, it's
interesting to
ironic
see.
because Toy Story nowadays has video games and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know. I mean, when it came out, it had a video game. It had
Oh, that's true. Yeah, on the
a
Super
DVD
Nintendo.
ROM. Yeah. Well, it had DVD ROM too. Game on PC.
Oh yeah,
PC game.
that's right. Yeah, that was a PC game.
Yeah, it was okay, but it was mainly for
It was okay.
kids. I mean, for kids. It
Yeah.
wasn't really like meant for like serious games. But
Right.
yeah, well, I don't know. Even if it's good, I'm still annoyed by it.
I don't.
'Cause
I don't think it's gonna be good. I think I'm gonna hate it, and yeah, I'm not changing my mind. I'm just not gonna watch it. So it's I'm not. And I felt the same way about 4, but then my brother forced me to watch it, and you know I'm glad he did because I ended up enjoying it. But I'm not changing my mind on this one. Like 5 is too far.
yeah, I mean, I'll put it
It's
this
like
way.
you don't turn Toy Story into the Land Before Time and not have it
Yeah,
decrease in quality.
exactly. That's to my point. Exactly. It's like I don't have issues with sequels per se as a as a principle. It's like go as far as you can as long as you're moving the story forward. Like it's you're giving us more each time. But
But
in this
there's
case,
nothing to move forward. There's
yeah, I don't
literally nothing that's
I don't think
meaningful.
there is. Yeah, I don't either. I don't think there
We learned
is.
all the lessons that we needed to learn, right?
Yeah, I don't see where
That's
it's
it.
gonna
The end.
go that where it's gonna have some type of deep meaning relative to the first three. Because even four, while like I said, it was objectively good,
Four
it
was
was
pushing
entertaining.
it.
It really yeah, but the meaning really wasn't on it deep, right? It's like we're talking about toys here, people.
You know, right,
A
yeah.
toy moving on in the world. Like that's the most ridiculous concept, right? Because you're a toy. You're not gonna survive.
Yeah, you are a toy.
You're gonna rust and die and wilt and like Bo Peep is not a girl boss. They kind of made her that. It's like Bo Peep would have been dead the minute she set foot out of the house.
She's made out of
You made a
porcelain.
porcelain for crying out loud. Like what are you talking about? Yeah, like it's the stupidest thing, but they portrayed it. They just did a very good job portraying the story. But when you think about it just a level deeper, you realize like this is absurd. Like if anything, it would be you're moving like in Toy Story 2, it was about Woody going to a museum where he would sit in a box and
And not be played
be
with
be
kids. Yeah.
yeah. Well, he would be millions of kids and adults admiring him. That would be the They just wouldn't physically play with him, right? They would just look at him and go, "Wow, it's a cool toy," which isn't bad, right? It's like there's worse fates than that if you're a toy, I would imagine, right? So you understand it's kind of silly to say, let's go out into the real world and survive in the wild. It's like that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, and the whole scene where they're in the park or the playground and the kids come and play, I'm like, you you're not lasting long out there. Like,
No.
you're gonna get swept up by the janitor. Kids are gonna pick you up and take you home, and you're gonna end up in the trash.
Yeah.
Because parents are
Their
gonna say,
parents aren't gonna keep you.
yeah, it's like you're not gonna survive. Then there's wild animals. Like, are you serious? Like, this is the most ridiculous idea. But like I said, they pulled it off. But that's why it still falls, short
Just barely.
of the first three because there's still a huge difference between four and the first three. Even though it was good, it's not as close as being as good or satisfying as the first three. Like, period. It never will be. Right. So,
No.
and that's what I'm saying. And that's because it's like when you think through the first three, they're all plausible, right? When you go a little deeper, it is deeper. When you look at four and you go deep, it's stupid. That's why you're like,
Yeah.
they're toys. You understand? Like, they're toys. I don't care if Bo Peep and Woody run off into the wild. Like, you're gonna die. If that's what I mean. Like, you're gonna
Yeah.
die. Versus, why would you run off to a place where like a toy store, like they were that hobby shop? That makes more sense. Like if they were running away to the hobby shop, where it's like, oh, it's this whole world and we're safe and we're gonna get taken care of and not broken, and that makes more sense. But that's not what they did. I'm like, okay, this is kind of ridiculous, but okay.
Yeah, it made no sense.
But it was nice sentimental moments, but it was still silly. Which is probably why he comes back in 5. Because he realizes
Yeah.
that was crazy. What was I thinking? That's probably what's gonna
Yeah.
happen. He's gonna come back. Woody, you're back. Yeah, guys. Oh, why'd you let me leave?
Why did you let me
What was I
leave?
thinking?
It's
You should have
crazy.
smacked me around. So, yeah, and that's true. Pixar, they're always pushing the limit with their 3D pipeline, higher resolution, higher quality. But I wish they would do it with something else. Like,
Yeah.
pick something.
Just leave Toy Story alone. Please. Oh man. But yeah, let us know what you guys think about Toy Story 5. Are you excited for it? Do you hate it like me?
If
Let
you
us know
hate
in the
it,
comments below.
what do you think about it, and why do you hate it? Because there's no way. Well, I don't know. Maybe some people. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's some fans who they're like, "Hey, man, I'm here for it." Because it's just more goodness, and hopefully it is good. Because then, yeah, it's just more goodness. So they at least make the effort and give us a quality story. Okay, you know, can't be too upset about that. It's like
We'll
four.
see.
It's like, well, I can't be too upset. I mean, because it was a reasonably good story. So, yeah. But moving on, wanted to bring up another big announcement that was dropped this week, and that is Steam, right? Steam Deck, Steam Machine.
Oh yeah, the Steam,
And
the Steam
I wanted to
machine.
get your take. I'm sure
Well,
maybe
first
you've
off,
already
they should have
seen.
called it the Steam Engine because that just makes more sense
Yeah, that would be a
than
clever play on words. Yeah.
yeah. But overall, I think it looks awesome. I think that Valve is sort of the last bastion of, I guess we if you want to call it AAA gaming. Um, Mainly because they're player first, and it's yeah, it's the GameCube. It's
Yeah,
literally a
that's the
GameCube.
first thing I thought was that kind of reminds me of the GameCube.
Yeah,
But the difference
but
is there's no removable disc or anything, right? It's all digital. It's basically a PC, right?
I
It's
mean,
a
yeah, it's
high
essentially it's
performance
a
PC.
PC.
Yeah, but it's a small form factor. It has all your peripherals, that you'll need, for your controllers and things like that. It connects to your Steam Deck, right? So if
Yeah,
you already have one, then now you can. I wonder if you, and I'm guessing this will be the case, you can connect to it remotely as long as it's connected to the internet. So that means you can probably store your games on here and then play
right.
on your Steam Deck anywhere else as long as there's like Wi-Fi. Or
Yeah.
it'd be nice, even, especially if there's Wi-Fi, you can just download or upload right from your Steam Deck. Um, so this is pretty cool. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not a hardcore gamer, but
Well,
I
that's the
like how
great
this
thing about it
looks.
is that even if you're not a gamer, right? There's still
Yeah,
it's still a computer.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. This is very tempting to me to be like, oh, this would be a nice upgrade to have, because I have a gaming PC. I have a tower. I built it, um, and it's pretty fast. It still has an old graphics card in it. It's
Yeah.
NVIDIA. It's the GTX, but and I've been intending
Yeah,
to
we're
upgrade.
now at quadruple A gaming with the
So
Steam Deck.
So yeah, like something like this, especially if it's like a bundle, if you can get it as a bundle for a good price, it's like, yeah, this is kind of tempting, you know. And Steam has some pretty cool games on there, so
Well, here's the
and they
thing.
do
Here's the
have
thing with
AAA
this.
games on there, don't they?
Well, yeah, it's essentially it's a handheld uh it's a handheld computer. So where you have access to Steam 24/7, right? So not only
Right,
do you have access to the Steam library, which is ginormous, which means you get you know you're not limited to the whole console exclusivity deal, right?
right,
But on top of that, you could import your own games on there, right? So like if you have a lot of
right.
indie games that you play, like I saw someone playing I play a lot of Sonic Robo Blast. I could play Sonic Robo Blast on there. Um,
Yeah, cloud saving, yes.
if you wanted to, uh, run emulators on there, you can. You know,
Oh, because it's
it's,
a PC.
it's a PC. So
It has
now you
Steam.
have
It has its own OS, but I wonder if you can put your own, like Linux or
probably I don't doubt it, but
Ubuntu
here's the but
or
here's the
even
thing.
Windows.
Like eventually with this, you could probably imagine like you're gonna have one machine where you can play literally every game, right? Like you're gonna have the Steam library, obviously, but then I want to play PlayStation games on here. Get a PS2 emulator. Now you can run PS2 games. Oh, well, I want to play Super Nintendo on here. Get a Super Nintendo emulator. Like, it's bound to happen.
Yeah,
You know,
and
like there's
if
no.
I mean
This
if
is like the
there's
only console you'll ever
ho-
need to
ho-
buy.
hopefully someone will. And it's funny. I was talking about this with your brother this morning. Also about emulators and simplifying the process of installation and everything, so that there's easy. It's easy. It's an easier time getting it installed without hiccups, especially if you're trying to do group play or something.
Yeah.
This could be a solution if there's like continuity between users. So man, this is pretty cool because see, this is like you know,
Like
it's a
no
it's
one's
a, it's a
beating the Steam
PC,
Deck.
so run any software you want, any OS.
Yeah, no one's beating the Steam Deck. That's just not going to happen.
So
Or
this
the
is,
Steam Machine, whatever it's called.
but I wonder what kind of graphics card it has. I think I heard it was AMD. I was hoping it would be Nvidia, or what if you could choose?
I don't know.
You could choose which one. I would choose an Nvidia just because I just think there's more compatibility with NVIDIA across the board. But that would be if they offer an NVIDIA, I would probably get this. Just get
Maybe.
on the computer. Because man,
Yeah, like honestly, yeah.
this is
If you're
great.
like a
Like,
gamer, like why would you need an Xbox, right? It's like,
right. Well, that's been my argument for a long time. Is I never understood console wars. Like I always thought it was the stupidest thing in light of modern PCs and their capabilities. Like
well, yeah,
everyone should be a PC gamer because it is overall cheaper. Because if you once your PC, let's say a new game comes out, AAA game, and your PC's too slow, you just buy more memory. You increase your GPU, you get another graphics card. Like those are low cost pain points versus buying a whole new console for $600-700. Like
right.
I just don't get that. And not to mention controllers and other peripherals. It's like, why are you doing that when you can just get a PC that you can upgrade every 2 or 3 years for not even the same amount of money, for less in some cases, right? It just depends on, you know, if you're willing to buy new or you can buy slightly used. Like you can buy overclocked GPUs that are slightly used and get 20-30% discount off the market price. Like there's a lot of ways you can go about doing it. So, and I think part of it is people like the console experience because they grew up with consoles. And I think, that's kind of what's been feeding the market is, generally speaking, uh, guys
When
and gals, but
nostalgia.
mostly guys, yeah, who they just like having a console. Like it's just something about and especially with PlayStation
Well, I
coming
mean,
in and redesigning, they kind of redesigned the console where it's like now it's more sophisticated, it looks really cool next to your TV and all this kind of stuff. I think
you
there's a
talking about
lot to that.
you talking about the PS4 or?
Or just the PlayStation in general. I'm just saying
I
each
see.
generation they're giving you a newer,
Oh, well, that's
prettier
true.
design.
But the thing is that with especially with the PS4 and is there? I guess we have PS5 now.
Yeah.
Like, there's no games on there. Like all of from what I remember, most of the games on the PS4 and PS5 or on the PS5 are ports of PS4 games. So it's
So
like
so there's no like
there's
new
no
games
point in
made
getting a
for it.
PS5. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
because
Like it's always tied to the games. They have this exclusivity with the games. Like certain games are only available on the Xbox or on and that's obviously not the case anymore, especially with the
yeah.
emulators and stuff. So it's like, yeah, why bother when and then something like this drops, and to me it is a game changer. Like they tried years ago, way back in the early 2000s, I guess. They tried
Yeah.
doing this before, and it was still called the Steam Machine. It was a PC. It was more like a tower. It was narrow. It was just a smaller form factor. And
Yeah.
the whole point was to try and use it as your gaming PC, but you can also cast to your television, so you can play on
Right.
your television. And I think it was kind of a bittersweet reception at the time. It was probably just a matter of timing. I think people just weren't ready. Not to mention at the time, Steam, it's like what did they offer game wise that was like, oh, I got to get this right,
Right.
because I think it may have been before a lot of these more popular AAA games were made available
Yeah, that makes
beyond
sense.
beyond the initial console, right? So, but now it's obviously a more open market game wise. I think the time, they obviously realize, hey, timing's here. Maybe try again. Let's
Right.
redesign it. Let's make it faster. Give it a different form factor. Going with the box is kind of interesting because yeah, it does look like the GameCube, um, but it does look cool. I mean, I
Yeah,
do
I
like
think it
it.
looks awesome.
So I hope it does well, and I hope the price point is reasonable. Um, we'll see. I hope it's lightning fast, but it all
I
depends on
think
what
for
the
what it
yeah.
offers, what it potentially offers, I think the whatever price point is going to be a lot more worth it than just getting a console that's just
Yeah,
for
I
games.
think going forward, if their business plan has to take into account going forward, what is Steam slated to be? Like, are we gonna have more AAA titles available? Um, are we gonna be able to allow owners of the Steam machine to upgrade and get more memory and um, more GPU power, things like that, so they can do higher frame rates? Like, what's gonna be sort of built in going, so that if I buy now, in 2 years or 3 years, I know that, oh, I can just upgrade these components to get a faster machine because I want to play that game or that have that experience, right? Like that's kind of how I see it. It's like and also I'm surprised they have the VR headset, which I still
I
don't.
mean, yeah, they've had it before.
I know, but it's like, does anyone care? I don't. I don't
No, not really.
care. I'm just wondering, like they're just really trying to push VR, like not just them, but everybody. And it's like, why are you pushing VR when no one's asking for it? It's literally not in demand. Like no one's demanding VR anywhere.
They've been
Like
they've been pushing VR for about 2 decades now.
I know it's like I don't understand it. Like I understand the fidelity of graphics and everything, and aesthetics is way better, and it is. But it's still this clunky headset you got to put over your eyes. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I think Microsoft had the right idea. They were doing like a whole room, right? A VR room, right, where you go in and there's some immersive. At least that makes sense. But even that's still, it's not for your everyday consumer. That's for
no,
theme parks and things like that, right? Like so. I don't know, and I can see it working there. You go to a theme park, something for kids, some even for adults, and there's like these rooms that are these immersive experiences. That's cool. But that's just commercially viable, like to consumers. You know, I've seen some use cases like artists, sculpting in digital space, that kind of stuff. That looks fun.
yeah, but that's all like novelty stuff.
It is. It's very niche. Um, I don't see it as something that's like
Like even people who use
viable.
VR chat, not all of them have a VR rig. Some of them are just using their
Yeah, they're just
PC.
yeah, they're just looking at it on their monitor. Like I've done a couple of VR chats. I'm like, yeah, I'll just use my monitor and just watch these 3D avatars. It's
Yeah.
like playing a video game. So
Hmm.
it's like, why do you need these visors for? I don't know. So it's weird, but yeah, it's fun. But I like the idea of the this small form factor PC, and it's nice to see that they didn't give up either. They're trying it again. They had a lot of success with it.
Well, it's like you said, the timing's just right. So
Yeah, yeah. And that's the thing, like I said, the key is going to be speed, power, you know, probably storage, although they'll probably have like some type of cloud, like using your Steam account, right? So that'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
And if they try to market it beyond gaming too, which I think they should.
I think that's essentially what they're doing, right? Because you could
Well, they
install.
touched on it in the presentation, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying, really putting out like you can use this. This is a PC. You can use this for everyday tasks and for gaming. And it's like, and think about it, like the way it's designed. It's obviously portable, and
Right.
if it still allows you to connect, you know, to your television, and that's a seamless process. So you know, in
Right.
other words, it doesn't have to be right next to your TV to work. You know, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see. Kind of exciting. 'Cause I like
Yeah.
Valve and I like Steam. So
I mean, I mainly. I mentioned this a lot. I don't play on consoles anymore. Like I have a Switch, and occasionally I'll play Switch games, but mainly just I like Mario and stuff like that, and I like Fire Emblem. But outside of those, like every game that I'm into is for PC, and that includes like fan and indie projects. So I have no reason to play. I have no reason to buy a console. So
yeah,
it's just a waste of money.
I know that's how I feel. I don't see the point because this has a limited use case. So, and let's see what they. I think the
Yeah,
way
Kirby games
forward
too. Yeah.
with consoles is to have it where rather than dropping a new one every few years, you're allowing people to upgrade, expand, like their PCs, right? You're, you can have more memory, you can have more, change out graphics cards, things like that, like a PC, you know, and that way there's longevity, and now you can play whatever comes out. That's all you have to do is
Right.
upgrade it, right? So uh, start treating consoles like PCs, and
Yeah, it just makes more sense.
yeah, it really does. Not to mention now you have higher graphics, higher frame rates, all that good stuff. So you know the benefits of both in one, right? That's the key. But yeah, I highlighted this because I'm like, yeah, you're right. It wasn't exactly a cube.
It was a cube.
It was close to a cube.
It
Cube like
was
it
close
was
enough. Nobody.
cube adjacent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Smart
that's just
alex.
funny. Yeah. It wasn't quite. Yeah, that's very true. We used to sit around and play it like every weekend.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Used
we
to play
were.
Soul Calibur.
Yeah, Soul Calibur 2 was like
Yeah.
probably.
It was
I
fun.
probably put more hours in Soul Calibur 2 than like. That's not true because I played a lot of melee.
Yeah, that's right. We played Melee, but we used
Yeah.
to do so because I love playing Link. Link was actually pretty dope.
I know you didn't. You like playing the staff guy because he
Oh
was
yeah,
cheap.
yeah, he was good too. I like Link though. Link was cool. But yeah, that's right. I did like
Link was actually cool. Link,
yeah.
if it
He
wasn't for
was
Soul
more
Calibur, I
powerful than he looked.
probably yeah. Because he had those bombs.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was a great game. I need to
Yeah.
find that. That's is Soul Calibur even around? Like, is it
Yeah, but it's not as relevant. There was
okay?
I think there's
I
Soul
mean, like, is there
Calibur 5.
newer? There is okay.
Yeah,
Because
I think there's
I
5
stopped
of them.
paying attention years ago. So.
I mean, yeah, I mean 2 was like the last really great one. Although I remember playing Soul Calibur 5 was pretty good, but um, yeah, 2 was sort of the peak because depending on what console you got different characters. So obviously the GameCube version had Link, but if
Yeah,
you got
right.
the Xbox version, you got Spawn.
Yeah, I remember that.
Uh,
That's right.
and if you
Yeah,
got the PS2 version, you got Heihachi from Tekken. So it was pretty cool
it's not bad. Yeah, Soul Calibur
how
was
they
a
did it.
dope game. Yeah,
But
always a great game.
we need a Soul Calibur 2 version with just all the characters. I want to fight Spawn as Link.
because it was kind of it was a perfect.
Oh,
Like, the
6. Yeah, it was
graphics
6.
were pretty tight.
Thank you.
The gameplay was really good. The fighting, all the
Yeah.
different moves. Like it was one of my favorite fighting games for sure. Definitely,
Yeah,
I
it was
think I
pretty
liked
dope.
it better than Mortal Kombat.
I mean, yeah.
It was really solid. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, that's all I have today. Anything else you want to bring up?
Don't watch Toy Story 5. Or yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
what to tell us. It's just not. It's not worth it. Like
Well, I don't know. We'll see, I suppose. But yeah, I agree. It's
I think
I
if
don't
people really
see.
want Pixar to do better, then we have to just not keep accepting just the slop. It's just not worth it.
Yeah, and it's kind of ironic. Like, although to her credit, Justine Bateman, I follow her on Twitter, on X, I mean, and she hates AI. She's made no secret of that. I don't know if you're familiar with Justine Bateman. She's an actress. She used to be in one of
Okay.
my favorite shows, Family Ties, with Michael J. Fox.
Oh, okay.
She played Mallory, I think, like his sister. She was kind of this ditzy, you know. It was
Yeah.
fun. So, and she's done a lot of things, obviously, but she's more behind the scenes now as a director, producer. All that. But
Oh,
anyway,
nice.
she hates AI,
Yeah.
and but to her credit, she also hates this stuff too, like these cash grabs. You know, like she's criticized Hollywood for being derivative, like just like stop making sequels and reboots. And that's really it. It's like people. I really do believe people want original stuff. Like Arcane's a good example. Right? Like it's done very well because it's something original that people are like, oh, this is new, this is fresh, and it's objectively good, right? It's good storytelling. Even Castlevania, at least the first season. Be careful for the second, but still, at least it's like something new, it's something different.
Yeah.
And whether good or bad, it's like, you know, I appreciate like Netflix for at least pouring a lot of investment in animation. We've got a lot of animation from them. A lot of it is original, you know. And it's like, yeah, like even if it's meh or terrible, it's like at least you're trying to give people something new, right? Because that's kind of how you discover the next, K-pop demon. Hunter. It's like
Yeah.
you just have to go look. This looks good to us. Let's put it out there and see if the rest of the world likes it, right? And sometimes they won't, right? But a lot of times they will, you know. So it's like, and that's K-pop demon hunters proves that. It's like
Yeah.
wildly, wildly successful, and it is objectively good. And it's like, yeah, I'm here for it. Like that's what we're asking for. Give us more of that. Just something new, something. Like I said, like we talked about that Ultraman Rising, like that. That didn't make the splash that it should have, but
Oh yeah, that was a great movie.
that's still a great movie. And if you haven't seen it, go see it. Like, give it some love because it deserves a sequel because it does leave you off like where there could be a continuation. So I would love to see make
Yeah,
another
it's awesome.
yeah,
That was
it's like
probably the
it's
best,
very good.
one of the best new movies that I've seen so
Yeah,
far.
it is, but it's kind of got slept on, unfortunately. So I think because at the time there were so many other Ultraman
Yeah, there's a lot of
takes.
Ultraman content.
Yeah, and that's the other part. It's like
Ultraman's
stop
pretty
doing that,
big.
man. Like I don't know why it's being licensed like to oblivion. Like all these
Well,
different.
I mean, it's no different than any other tokusatsu.
I guess
Uh,
so. Yeah, it's like
like there's
man,
like
but
how many
but
Kamen
all of
Riders
them
are
are
there? How
on.
many
Yeah, but all of
Super
them are on
Sentai?
Netflix. That's what's so weird. It's all on Netflix. I'm like, what are you guys like trying to do? But yeah, but Ultimate Rise is one of the ones out of all those others that I actually like. The other ones I never cared for. I don't, they kind of bore me. And I love Ultraman. I used to watch when I was a kid. So, but yeah, it's like give us something new. So I agree with her on that. I don't agree with her about AI. I think she's just mad because she's afraid it's gonna take people jobs, which it might, but I don't think it's gonna take everyone's job. I think what's gonna happen
Well,
is
my
just
thing
like
is,
just like with digital publishing, VFX, 3D, CGI, uh, artists will have to adapt. They have to learn how to leverage it in their skill sets. That's really it. That's going to be the solution. You know, leveraging AI to be a better production artist, graphic designer, web designer, uh, animator, director, etc., etc. That's really what it is. Like, it's not gonna just take every job. So I think that's something that needs to be understood. It's going to be adapted, just like all the technology that came before.
Well, here's the thing. My thing is that a lot of the people complaining about AI are the same people who, uh, like they don't actually they only care about AI because it threatens them personally.
Right.
Like they didn't they like these people don't really care about technical logic. Most of these people don't care about technological advancement as long as it doesn't affect them personally, right?
Yeah, that's
Like because
exactly right.
when people were struggling to get jobs, like normal jobs, these same people were like, oh, well, just learn how to code and do this. But
Right.
now that
I remember that.
AI is threatening their art job, which is listen, artists are a lot like artists aren't as valuable as welders or a plumber or something, right? Like and I'm not saying that to be mean. It's just reality. So like more people are gonna like and like you make fun of these people and now you want sympathy from them because oh well
Yeah.
art you know with artistic integrity
Yeah.
and
What
stuff
does
like
it
that.
mean to be human? Like what's this guy of I think he does the what is it called, the Owl House or something, that show on
Yeah,
Disney Channel. Yeah, I forgot his name.
yeah, I don't
Sorry,
like
but
that show, but yeah, I know what
he
you're
was
talking
just
about.
he was just talking about like making a statement about Disney, because Disney's gonna be, I guess, leveraging AI on the Disney
Yeah,
Plus channel in some form, basically allowing content creators to use it, use their licensed characters, right? So it's like,
right.
okay, I mean, honestly, whether you like it or not, that's a smart approach, because they're saying let's try to control our IP, right, so that it doesn't get away from, like, similar to the music industry, right? They didn't see Napster coming, right, and they didn't understand digital music. And so when it started to really hit, and Napster was allowing people to share and access music basically for free, right? It was like, oh no, right? And
Yeah,
before they knew it, you got artists saying, oh, I don't need a label. I can just drop an album directly on social media. And you
right.
see that now in the last few, like Kanye West proved that. He dropped a whole album out of nowhere, and it was like viral, right? He sold, I don't know, millions of downloads. You know what I mean? Like, it was crazy, right?
Right.
And it's like, that's full control. And so now record labels had to adapt. Now we got Spotify and all this stuff, right? Amazon Music. You see what I mean? They had to
Yeah.
adapt eventually. So it's like they're still there, but it's like they're very different now, right? And I think that's what's going to happen in Hollywood. It's like they're still going to be there. We're still going to have the Disneys and the Sonys, but they're going to look kind of different from what we remember.
Right.
And they may not even be as relevant as they would like to be, like they were before. Just like record labels, like if someone says, here's an artist and he's signed with, BMG Music or something, are you gonna
Yeah.
care? I don't care.
No.
That used to be a thing way back, now it's like I could care less. Drop your song, drop a cut on Spotify.
Yeah.
You
I
know what I
mean,
mean?
there
So
are there are artists that make their entire career off of YouTube.
yeah, exactly.
Uh,
And that's what I'm saying. Like, they don't need it. I mean, Eric July is probably the most, the one I know most familiar with. But he's,
well, I'm
it's
not.
like
Well, not just
they.
comics, but music
No,
specifically.
no,
Like
I'm
most.
not talking about. I'm not talking about comics. He's a musician.
Oh
He's a
yeah, that's
singer.
right.
He
Yeah,
has
that's
a
right. Yeah.
band backwards, and
Yeah. Yeah.
they same thing. They had no label. They represented themselves as a label. You understand?
Yeah.
He was doing that years ago, like almost a decade
That's
ago.
true. Yeah.
You understand? Dropping albums online, all this, digitally, owning his music outright. So digital music changed the game, right? And actually democratized music and gave power back to the musician. And that's the irony of it, right? Now we see AI, but artists see it as the opposite. Oh, we're losing our power. It's like, no, you're not, right? Because artists then saw Napster as the same thing, but it really wasn't because they failed to see the vision, right? They didn't understand, oh, I can make my own music in my own studio and deliver it directly to the people, right? And that's what's happening in comics now with guys like Eric July and a few others, right? Like the Super Plumber Sisters, all that kind of stuff. It's like Common Writer, it's not Common Writer, Common America. It's like they're going
Oh
directly
yeah,
to the consumer. They're not going through publishers and all this nonsense, right? They're saying, I'm gonna make the product and I'm gonna make a website or a social media account or both, and we're gonna market it, basically guerrilla marketing, right? And we're gonna drop it, give it right to you. You can digitally download it now, right? Or we'll ship you a hard copy, whatever it is. It's like that's the entire point, right? It's the power is in the artist with the artists themselves versus these big conglomerates, right? And I think, is slated to do something similar to that when it comes to animation and even film production in general. Is that it's going to help streamline and yes, make the process a lot more affordable and accessible to more people, more artists, where they can come in and they can flesh out this $1 million movie idea, right, for a few $100s. You understand? Versus
yeah.
spending thousands, and then on top of that, make something a proof of concept. I think it'll start with proof of concepts, right? Like a short, things like that. But it's going to expand to, full production. Like, hey, it just took me 6 months. Here you go. Here's my movie. Go watch it. Right? Watch it on YouTube. Watch it on Vimeo. Watch it
Right.
right here. Right. Watch it on X. And there will be a paywall or whatever. Right. And it goes right to the creator. The creator gets the credit. Like he has full control. So I think that's what's going to happen. And eventually, so companies like Disney are trying to adapt. And so I give them credit in that sense. Like they're at least trying to adapt so that they don't, like the music companies before, they don't end up on the losing end of this thing.
Right.
And I think they kind of already are, just because it's been, as rapidly as AI has, advanced, right? It's like they're just now really sort of, putting their shoes on, right, to catch up. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But AI even now still isn't mainstream, and that's kind of what's kind of interesting and exciting, is that it's still not mainstream. Meaning, while there may be instances you can point to, like Coca-Cola, right, using it to make their commercial, which I'll be honest, it looked, the last one looked okay. It looked better than the previous for sure, but I'm
Which
still
one?
not. The Coca-Cola Christmas commercial, when they
Oh
have
yeah.
their trucks, it's like, yeah, it's okay. Like if you're a random consumer and you happen to catch it on a, watching between watching your favorite show or something, or the game, you probably won't care about it. Not because it's AI, but because there's aspects of it that's kind of like, right? Like I think part of the problem with both of those productions, because they did one last year too, I believe, is it's not that it's AI, it's the fact that it doesn't feel authentic. Right now, there's aspects of it, especially in the latest one, that I noted, like, oh, okay. Like there's a scene where the snowman sees the trucks coming and he picks up these coals and puts them in his eyes so he can see. I thought that was cute. I'm like, okay, we need more of that, right? These kind of heartwarming kind of, you know, moments, like, and they need to feel right. And I think that's the part that this team may be struggling with, is finding that pacing that evokes the kind of emotion you want to convey, where it's on par with the original, right? Because if you watch the original, it's a very heartfelt commercial, you know. They and it feels like a Christmas commercial. It feels like it has weight, and I think
Yeah.
that's what's missing with a lot of AI generated stuff, is that it lacks like that weight, that emotional weight. And I don't think it's because it's AI. I think it's because the creators, I think many of them, maybe they're not as polished as artists yet, and because maybe there's fewer people involved and their roles are very different from a traditional pipeline, that maybe certain things aren't being emphasized as they ought to be, if that makes sense. I don't mean to ramble, but that's kind of
Well,
my
no,
thought
I
process,
get
right?
what you're saying,
I
but
feel like
yeah, well, I
this.
think a lot of the people, like, it's gonna take real artists getting a
Yeah.
hold of the technology
Yes. Exactly.
who know how to tell stories and not
Yes.
just random people. But that's
Exactly.
like that with
And, and,
everything.
and,
I
and to
mean,
be clear, I'm not saying the artists that worked on those commercials aren't real artists. That's not what I'm saying. I'm
well, I
just,
never
I'm
saw the
just,
commercials, so
yeah, I'm just making a
but
note that that could be because it is a new pipeline and a new process. That there may be an overemphasis on the visuals, right, and just kind of getting it down, versus taking your time and going, okay, let's really polish this. Let's add some post production to this. You follow what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of times, what really conveys, it kind of brings a production over the top to where you want it to be, is a lot of times happens in post where you have editors and you have VFX artists going in and they're doing color correction and
yeah,
LUTs, and all that kind of stuff, color grading, mastering audio, you understand, like it is an art form, like that alone is an art form, editing.
oh yeah,
That's what I'm saying, and I think I think those commercials kind of like that a bit. Like, for example, the Toys R Us one that came out years ago, but that was one of the first AI driven, and that one actually felt really nice. Like it had a nice emotional tie into it. Like it felt
which one?
magical. It was a Toy Story, Toys R Us commercial. It's a Toy Story,
Oh, I
but
think I know what you're talking about.
yeah, it had like Jeffrey
The giraffe.
the
Yeah,
giraffe, and it was like a little boy. I think. Yeah, I can't remember, but that one was okay. That I think they were almost there. It was but it's still, because it's AI. It's almost like 3D. There's this sort of uncanny valley, but it has more to do with um, when you know it's AI, right? Just like
yeah.
when you know it's 3D, your brain is can't switch it off. But if you don't know, then that helps, right? So that could
Hmm.
be the other part of the equation, so to speak. Right? So it's fascinating to see. I think it's just going to get better. It's going to become more believable, and I think with the right hands, with very talented artists and directors, etc. I think
Hmm.
we're going to get beautiful stuff, like really moving, emotionally driven content that's going to compel us and you know impress us. It's coming. It hasn't happened yet. I haven't seen it yet, but there's going to be someone that's going to produce something that's like, wow, that was beautiful. You know what I mean? Like it made me feel what I wanted to feel as the audience, as a consumer. So we'll see, but I think it's just a matter of time.
I'm reminded of recently uh, uh, this YouTuber that I follow, named Leaflet.
Mhm.
She commented on AI, and she brought up an article from like uh, I want to say the 1800s that was like anti-photography,
Mhm.
and you know, back when photography was new,
Yeah.
um, people didn't like it because like, oh well, it's not painting, you're not capturing the you know the beauty, the feeling, or whatever.
Yeah.
And there was she found an actual article from like that time period that was like anti like photography, like anti
Really.
camera, and
That's so funny.
a lot of the vocabulary is the same stuff that's being used for AI. And I gotta find the name of it because
Yeah,
I think
that'll
it's
be interesting.
very
Yeah. Yeah,
I
it's very
mean it
telling. I
sort of
mean,
confirms something that that I kind of already understood is that um, uh, people people don't like progress if it affects them
if
personally.
it affects them negatively, they don't like it.
Yeah,
Yeah. If it makes you uncomfortable or it causes you to fear losing, power or money or both. You're,
yeah,
and that's, I mean, you don't have to go that far back. I mean, when I was in college, it was all about digital, like going digital from traditional graphics and production, right? I learned traditional graphics. I learned how to draw. I learned how to use, rulers and all that stuff, triangles and, the compass to make circles and all that drafting and all that stuff. I learned all that, how to make a mechanical so you can take a picture of it and create film so you can make a plate so you can use the plate for offset printing. Yeah, yeah, like it was a
yeah, yeah.
whole process. I learned that, and then my senior year, all of a sudden, boom, computers, right? I mean, we already had computers, but I mean, for graphics, right? All of a sudden, we had a computer graphics lab, and there's Illustrator and Photoshop. It's like, oh, so you mean I didn't have to spend hours and days, crafting this layout and drawing and using all this reference and tracing, and I could have just went in Photoshop and just clicked around. And, I mean, it's kind of wild, and that kind of blew my mind, you know, and but yeah, it really changed everything, you know, and not only did it change everything, but guess what? As a graphic designer, um, learning actual computer graphics allowed us to make more money, not less. That was kind of the irony of it. We paid more if we not only knew traditional uh, aspects of graphic design, but if we also understood how to use a computer, right, in relation to that. So, and knowing certain software. So we were actually able to command more money because of that knowledge, So yeah, it was a net positive if you were willing to adapt and learn, And a lot of people, a lot of my peers didn't, and they just got out of it altogether, did a whole different career. They didn't want to
Oh, yeah.
learn software, and I know, and I remember years later I was teaching Photoshop and Illustrator. Once again, created a new opportunity to teach, right? And I had artists from these studios, saying, "Yeah, I'm here to learn computer graphics. I'm going to learn Photoshop and Illustrator from, they were already employed. They were animators and like background painters, all that kind of stuff. And but they were like, yeah, we see these young people coming in, and they already know this stuff, you know. And now our bosses or whatever are going to them, saying, hey, make this, do that, because why? Well, it's faster, right? So we need to learn it so that we become the go-to people, right? So so I was teaching guys who were 10 years older than me, use Photoshop, because that was the landscape. So they understood we got to adapt or we're just going to have to change careers, you know. And it's the same old story all over again with AI. It's the same thing, you know. It's like adapt or move on to do something else. I suggest, honestly, if you don't want to adapt and you're tired of the industry and you don't want to integrate, more technology, right, more AI or whatever, and you want to change careers, if you're not too old, I guess, and too out of shape, uh, get into electrical, be an electrician or a plumber or a welder, because they're in high demand. So that's what I.
Yeah.
So it's
I
not learn
mean,
to
yeah.
code; it's learn to be a journeyman or something. I don't know, but like
That's the
seriously,
thing. A lot of these artists, especially a lot of these artist types on like social media, they don't they don't want a real job. They want
well,
to.
I don't want to go that far,
Well,
but
it's like when you actually like
there are
talk
some out
about.
there, but I
I'm
think
like,
most people are just afraid because a lot of these guys, especially those in the industry, they have families, right? They have people that depend on them, so it can be very frightening to
right,
think
but
they
I'm
could
not
be.
talking about them. I'm talking about like this is something that I've learned from dealing with like artist types in like film school and stuff like that. Those are the types of people that I'm talking about, it's where it's like you get I don't know they feel this I don't know you talk to them, you realize they're kind of disconnected from like reality and
Well,
like normal
yeah, I
people.
mean, there are some, and especially online, I see it a lot. A lot of guys, they think it's noble to be an artist and do
Yeah,
things purely out of passion, right? Like not for profit, not for gain. I'm making this comic or I'm drawing these commissions because I love art and I'm putting my soul into this, and it's like that's nice. It really is. That's pretty awesome. But the reality is, people aren't gonna always pay for your passion, right? That's very rare. Most of the time, they're gonna pay for what moves them, not what
yeah,
moves you, right? They want to be paid and supported based on what moves them, but that's not how it works. You have to make what moves others, right, for them to
yeah.
pay you. And I think they get it conflated because they may have to make something that does move others that also move them, right? That
Yeah.
also inspired them. And so they think
Yeah.
it's
Like
one and the same. And it's like, no, it's not. That's just coincidence.
like when I
Right?
was doing like freelance graphic design and stuff like that, like I used to do logos and websites. Like I wasn't most of the time I wasn't making stuff that I was into. I was doing a logo for someone's bakery or for someone's or working on a website for someone's music label or you know you know somebody's doing a logo for someone's real estate company stuff like that.
Right,
Right?
of
It
course.
was
Yeah.
really art that I like. You know what I mean? It was really art that
Right.
I
That's how it works.
and there's
You're
nothing
not
wrong with
gonna.
being passionate about art, but my thing is
Right.
like these people act like I don't know. There's sort of like a I don't know. There's sort of like a these types of people tend to pull this kind of moral crusade on like non-artists, whatever, and I don't know. It tends to be this sort of higher than thou attitude, and a lot of
Yeah.
people don't like that.
No, I agree. A
It's
lot of
not like
guys.
obviously it's not everybody, but it's
No,
a
but
lot of the
yeah,
people you see on
especially
social
yeah,
media.
yeah, I agree. Especially online, there's certain a sort of pretentious attitude, and it's clear they don't have a realistic understanding of how markets work, and I'm not sure. I guess part of it is like you mentioned, art school, definitely perpetuates that the mindset. I mean, and just
Yeah,
running in certain circles, just like in Hollywood, right? Like a lot of these guys, they're in Hollywood and they're in these circles, these bubbles, and they're just reinforcing their worldview, but that isn't an accurate worldview, right? And so they think the audience thinks just like them, and it doesn't. That's just not true. And so then they wonder, well, why did this do well? Why did it fail? Why am I not paid more? Like, and it's like because you have an unrealistic perception of reality. So just like with the animators and the unions constantly asking for more and more and more from these companies, and then the companies decide, well, we're gonna pivot into something that's gonna save us money, which means you're probably gonna lose your jobs, right? Um, a lot of that is because there's a lack of seeing sort of beyond the nose on your face, right? Like seeing that, hey, this road kind of goes somewhere we don't want to go, so maybe we should curb it a bit and figure out a different way or a better way, and that's what's kind of happening. And we discussed this before, the animation industry itself, and it's kind of happening with comics as well. Starting to see like, yeah, we're not selling as much as we used to, right? We're relying on reprints and things like that. So, I mean, Diamond Publishing, I think, it's going out of business. It's like the facade is starting to kind of break down because
right.
the reality is setting in. Like, people aren't buying like they used to for various reasons, but
Yeah,
primarily because you're not creating quality content. Right? So, and that's another reason why something like AI technology, digital in general, AI it's going to be everything we know of already, Blender, 3ds Max, all this stuff, After Effects, YouTube, X, social media. But it's all going to be bolstered with AI, right? AI is going to give it the boost, and because it's going to be leveraged by creators, right? More so, more and more, especially as it gets better, more refined, more accurate, etc. And that's going to be the landscape, man. It's going to be available to more people, so it's going to be deep, but it's also going to be very wide, right? A mile wide, and
Yeah.
a mile deep. Right now it's kind of an inch deep because there's a lot of people who still don't know about it, and that's being interpreted as a rejection. It's like, no, it's not reject. People just don't understand it yet. That's all it is. It's just like social media itself or smartphones, right? There's a lot of people, especially older people, who just don't get it yet. They don't really see a use case for it, but they will, right? Especially when it starts affecting their jobs, right? And I mean non-artistic jobs. Right? They will.
Yeah.
So there will be a proliferation and a saturation of it, and what it will look like, we'll see. It's hard to say, but it's not going anywhere. That's for sure. So, but yeah, we'll see. But that's all I have. If check out our YouTube channel and subscribe, like, share. We appreciate all your support. So yeah, check us out here, and also go to our website, supergalacticfantastic.com, and sign up to our email list and get a free 12-page Teachable comic. And we're still working on our campaign. We've got some pages getting colorized and produced, and so we're just kind of trucking along. And the goal is to try to finish as much of the book as possible before we actually launch, so we can ensure that we're going to give you a finished book in a timely manner. So that's our goal, to give you the best possible quality that we can offer. So we appreciate your support and your time. Thanks for checking us out today. Thanks for hanging out with us. And yeah, let us know. What do you think about all this AI and everything? And Hollywood's bad habit of reboots, sequels instead of creating original stuff. You know, especially Toy Story 5. Like, let us know if you're gonna see it. I'll be curious to find out. So,
Let us know
thanks
if you're
guys for checking
excited
us out.
for Toy Story 7.
Toy Story 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Have a super galactic Saturday.
We'll see you around.